This is Michigan's famed nautical mile in the city of St. Clair Shores. And this is my good friend, Captain Richard Asztalos. Say hi to everybody, Captain.
Hey, how are you, everybody?
And Captain Richard and I go way back to when I worked at WWJ, and we covered the Port Huron to Mackinac sailboat race together.
3 times.
3 times. When they said you couldn't cover a sailboat race from the water, but we proved them wrong. Did we not?
That's right.
And we're going to talk to Richard in just a minute about the rising water level. This is part 2 from a previous video that we did. And this is Captain Richard's house. That's right, his house. He lives aboard year-round. There's several people who do right here on Lake St. Clair. That's why the boat right now is shrink-wrapped. Otherwise, he'd freeze to death. This is Captain Richard's front yard. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Captain Richard's backyard, Lake St. Clair. And the reason, Richard, I decided to do this little interview with you is because last summer you and I were here talking about the rising waters, and you said, this is kind of cyclical, it's no big deal. People are trying to make a political argument over the waters rising where they ought not to. You've seen it before. You've been living on the water here for decades, and it'll subside, don't worry. Well, since we last visited, how high has the water gone?
About a foot higher right now because we've had a lot of rain. No glaciers are melting in Lake St. Clair, by the way, but so far we've had a pretty mild winter. So there's no freezing over, or there's a little bit of it, but right now we've got 42 degrees and it's beautiful out here. So.
Yeah, who would think 42 degrees in the middle of
January
on Lake St. Clair in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. So are you eating a little crow here, or are you still standing by your previous observation?
I checked with the Army Corps of Engineers. They say by this summer probably a couple inches more than last year. And last year it got pretty high after our interview, by the way.
Yeah, well, there was flooding.
Flooding,
yes.
Had to take my shoes off to get to my boat. Some places couldn't use your boat because the electricity is underneath the dock, and some of these docks were flooded over. They had to shut off the electricity over at Detroit Yacht Club and places around here. They're building more docks over here, making them higher even after last year. So they're predicting a higher water level this year.
Like it's not just on this side of the state. On the west side of the state in Leland, Michigan, which is just off of Lake Michigan, the tributaries there that are fed by Lake Michigan,
right.
There are fishing shanties there that have been there for years and years and years, and they're now eroding to the point where they're either going to be taken down, or some of them they're moving them back.
Right. Well, it's going to happen here too. We're going to have erosion, and obviously there's been some of that. We get an easterly wind here, and it starts tearing up the docks and the shorelines, and we're going to have to deal with it like they did back in 1986. So this is not the first time it's happened.
But it is pretty bad.
It is bad.
People aren't making this up.
No, not anymore.